It was like I got a beep. I got a beep in my headphones, and then like the screens went white, and then y'all came back.
I don't know.
You got that. Stay away from the light, Carol Ann. You got that shit going on over there. What the hell tell you about that? We over here just going. We rolling.
You got that. Stay away from the.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AWO Podcast. We are the assholes with opinions. I'm your moderator and host, Sonny. We got the damn Deacon.
Yo, cowboy hat, representing for Lil Nas X. Fucked
Nice.
up, they kicked him off the charts.
We got G Gaines.
What's up, man? What's up?
Fellas. First, wait. Before I talk,
Gaines always got some Under Armour shit on.
I'm telling you, like, we need a check. We need a check, man, for real. But before I talk to y'all, I do want to say, man, the Asshole Nation is growing. The Asshole Nation is looking lovely. We appreciate every single one of y'all, most certainly. Love every single one of y'all. Everybody on this podcast has got careers, and sometimes, man, things get in the way, but don't nothing stop the train.
Nothing stops the train. So, tonight, I want to talk about people making choices.
That sounds like a good theme for the night. Choices. I like that.
Choices, choices.
There are some good choices and there are some bad choices. Let me introduce you guys to Mo Black.
Go outside, Black. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to eat your face. Go outside, Black. Come outside, Black.
That's his DM. That's his DM. Run down.
Okay, so now, at this point, Mo Black can make some fucking choices.
Bro.
The girl is a whole foot taller than him. She got him by a good 50 pounds.
At
and
least.
She told him she was going to eat his fucking face when they got outside.
Hey, listen. I'm saying that shit the rest of this fucking week. Every time I come across somebody, I will eat your fucking face, man.
It looked like he was defeated before it even started, though. Like that.
He
knows he's going to lose this fight. He goes outside, man.
Yeah.
But what does he do? Let's watch.
So what happened?
Hey, yo.
Triple Black. You know this shit.
Black, don't give me that.
Oh. Don't give me that, Black.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Joe Black whole eyes fucked up.
Hey, shout out to Mo Black.
Shout out to Mo Black. Now, if you get a fight with your baby mama and your homeboy got to jump in and throw in the towel for you, you know things have gone all the way left, man.
The homeboy was that dude from Rocky.
His homeboy embraced him and said, nah, no mind.
Hey, nah. So somebody should have helped Mo Black make that decision, man. I swear, because I don't know. That shit just let me know she probably whipping his ass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's not the first time. Like, she'll rough him up before. And this may be the straw that broke the camel's back. This might be the time to say, all my life I had to fight.
All my life. Mo Black tried to fight her twice in life, man. This is the second time. He's not going to try a third, man. He's giving it up.
He's going to make the right choice now.
Mo Black is 0-2, man. Mo Black is 0-2 right now.
This is the other part nobody's thinking about. None of them kids in that house going to respect Mo Black, man.
Talking when Mo Black told the kid, hey, man, once y'all go clean up that room, man, who the fuck you talking to? Shut up before I eat your damn face.
Look, imagine when the mama dive on him in the kitchen. They're like, man, look at my punk ass daddy over there, man.
You say he'll get beat up again in the house. Man, y'all got to be sensitive, man. That man's a battered spouse. You can't talk about that man like that. Now you gotta be supportive.
Hashtag Mo Black. Hashtag Mo Black. Hashtag Mo2.
Surviving Mo Black baby mama told that man she was gonna eat his face.
Sorry.
God damn.
Like, really? You just gonna do that shit on air like that?
Just shook his whole fucking body.
Man, yeah.
All right, fellas. of course, the biggest thing in the news, unfortunately, was Nipsey Hussle and everything going on with his situation. But I think there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I didn't want to talk about this, and we're going to talk about why. Deke, you really wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I think, there's a lot to unpack there, a lot to talk about as to why. So let's get into it, man. First of all, Nipsey Hussle, 33 years old. By the time that everybody sees this, you've seen all the details. A lot of things are out. I will say I started off feeling one way about this situation and definitely quickly changed my mind just as the details started coming out. So, Deke, I'm glad you started off, man. What you got?
So this has me pissed off, man. I've been mad since I found out about this. Okay. Because literally all we do is preach. Once you gain something or once you become something, bring it back to your people, fix your neighborhoods, fix your community. Mm-hmm. It's not possible to do more for your community than this guy was doing. This guy owned storefronts in his community. He was giving jobs to felons in his community. Right. He had outreach programs for kids. He had technology programs that were teaching young people to get into the tech world. You can't do more for a community than he was doing for Crenshaw. Right. And we let him get taken out.
Yep.
Right.
By somebody he knew, somebody he grew up with, who has probably benefited from some of the things he brought back to the neighborhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yet his pride is hurt one day, and he takes this man's life. Didn't care nothing about his kids, didn't care nothing about his woman, none of that. You know what that tells me? This guy's hated him for a long time. That thing was festering.
I was gonna say like that. That's what I don't even think that this was like one day or one situation, because you remember originally it was said that they had an argument, but then it came out with his I think it was his brother and his manager saying they didn't argue. Dude came up and spoke to them, and they said he was going to get a burger and came back shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the way he did it, like, you shoot the man. You've already shot the man 5 times, and you shot the other people, the 2 other guys he was talking to. Then you shoot him. You shoot him in the head, and then you kick the man. Like, bro, that's personal. That's hatred.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's hatred. That's exactly what it is. Hatred.
And then at the same time, like, what is it telling to us? It's another example on why you can't go back. And that's sad, man, because we need to be able to have feet on the ground in our communities,
Right.
But too many times do we see examples of the exact reason why you can't go back as often as you want to.
So then, is it a situation where you have to kind of learn to love your community from a distance? Is that the answer? Now mind you, I'm definitely not presenting that as the solution. I'm just asking the question.
I don't think you can do it that way. You gotta have boots on the ground, or else you're sitting up in your ivory tower looking down at the problem. You're not in it to help fix it. Right. But what I'm afraid of is that this situation and situations like this are going to deter people in the future from wanting to have boots on the ground, from wanting to be in that community, actively helping, because they're afraid of this alternative, And that's sad. That's a sad way to go.
That's what Boosie said. Remember, he said your hometown hate on you the most.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's real, though. That's real.
We can't have hometown heroes.
Nah,
we're going to get murdered. Like, that's crazy.
That's the other part of the problem, though, is we have so many examples of people who try to, and I keep hearing a lot of people use that phrase, keep it real or whatever. This don't have shit to do with that. You know what I mean? In my opinion, this is someone who found a means and knew what the ails were in his community and said, I want to fucking help. I want to do my part. But again, we have plenty of examples where every time someone attempts to do it that way, it never is good. It always ends like this.
It's just jealousy. I mean, and my thing with this was I didn't like how people were saying it was conspiracy and this and all of that, and something about him having the documentary coming out about, curing and all that.
Sebi,
yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You can research that and get it yourself. A documentary ain't gonna. So more people might see it, yes, but that it ain't what it's about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is basically people not having a basic respect for human life. Like they don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't value it. They don't value that. And they don't value themselves. Like you're gonna do that, and then all those people that you know are benefiting from it, like Dig said, you're probably benefited from it, and you're still jealous. You're still mad. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. You still like that. Like you don't value life anymore.
And it's something I said the other day, man. It holds true. Like when that jealousy and that greed gets to your mind, your version of the truth changes. You know, you see slights in places where there were no slights.
Right, right.
That's what happened to this guy. You know, he saw something that was a regular conversation to everyone else around. He took it as a slight.
Do you think the fact that he was I mean, this shit is just crazy, but do you think the fact that he was a fucking aspiring rapper at 29 years old, do you think that shit played a part? You know, Nipsey had just got the Grammy nominations. He had just had what a lot of people felt like was the best album of 2018. Do you think that played a part in it at all, or you think that's just people fishing?
Probably so.
Jealousy. Yeah, jealousy and envy.
That's what Bootsy say.
Now they are hypnotized with hatred. They are hypnotized with hatred. I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of hearing about this guy. I know what I'm going to do.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's exactly it. You took somebody who did so much because you was jealous in your heart. You changed the community because you were jealous. So like at that point, like what does that show people?
And who's gonna step in and fill his shoes? Who's gonna fill his shoes for all these people he was helping take care of? All these people he was helping change their lives. Who's gonna step in and fill those shoes? He thought about none of this, you know? He thought about his own foolish pride, man.
And it's something that Gaines said. Gaines, when you were talking about the people with the conspiracy and shit. I hate that. I hate that for the simple fact of, bro, it's past time for us to take responsibility as a community for the shit that we do and the bullshit that we are on sometimes. All right? The government did not assassinate Nipsey Hussle. The police did not kill Nipsey Hussle. The white man did not murder Nipsey Hussle. We did that. One of us did that.
He did it.
Yeah. You know? Straight up and down. And I hate the fact that you got people. I saw a video of a dude who was there on the scene, and he started shouting out, what did he say? He was like, oh yeah, 5 to the body, 1 to the head. You know, that's a textbook military hit. How the fuck would you?
He don't know.
Somebody, you don't know nothing.
Are you a fucking hitman? Are you a trained government assassin? How in the fuck would you know that's a textbook hit? I mean, shit that just don't make sense, man.
This is America, man. Everything is always somebody else's fault. It's always something else. People don't want to face the reality. Like the reality is we did that to us, like you said. That was that guy doing that. That was no bigger thing at play. We said the police will want to hit some of his biggest fans. You know what I'm saying? The guy, when the last time you saw a police precinct or something, or guys like that come out and talk like they talked about this guy. Say, man, guy he was trying to help. He's trying to keep all us safe. You know, they were playing this music one night and had a little video playing and all that. When does that happen?
He was set to. He had a meeting scheduled with the LAPD, right?
Yeah, and he was respected for that. And when the last time that happened? Like, I mean, you look at rappers' history with, you know, officers, right?
Right.
That rarely goes well when it's in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you have, of course, the whole conspiracy theory about the officers trying to kill Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe being responsible for some of that stuff, you know.
Right.
That's the history. And then they're praising this guy in LA. And that's the sad part. Like, everybody talk about what we need and all of that. And that's what we had. We had it right there. You know what I'm saying? We needed more of that, but we had it right there. And then you let something like that take that away because you mad.
And to y'all's point, man, I mean, look, it's 2019. We still got people making videos on conspiracy, on how Pop got killed. The government killed him. Had him assassinated in the car with him. All this
shit
type
next
of
to
shit.
him.
When he died in some regular gangbanging shit. That's what Tupac died in.
Right,
it wasn't nothing glamorous about that story. Nothing at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, my problem is how can we expect anyone else to take us serious when we say our lives matter or to value our lives when we keep showing we don't value?
We don't value. Right.
We have the guys here who are doing real things. We have people who are doing real things to help us, to help our community, and gets murdered
for nothing
by us in his own community that he's building up. Come on, man.
So then let me ask y'all, has this situation made you think differently about people that, you know, at one point in time where you say, oh, that dude's a sellout, he got his and he dipped, or, you know, he don't ever come back to the hood, or he's not for the black community, or has it made you look at those people any differently?
I look at it like this, man. To some people didn't have the respect beforehand, so it's never gonna work for them. You know, it's never gonna work for them. They never gonna be able to go back the way some others did because they didn't have the respect before. If they didn't have it before, they're not gonna have it now. That's number one.
Right.
Number two thing is, in some situations, you can't give enough. No matter how much you give, it's always gonna be somebody like, he didn't help me do this, or he didn't help me do that. Don't matter if you gave to 25 people. That 26th one you said no to, that's going to be the loudest voice in the group. That's going to be the loudest voice.
Because they didn't get what they wanted. Because they didn't get what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be, and sometimes the sad part is, what I think is in this case is, you can give. So like if somebody says, Deke, I'm going to give you $100, and you walk away mad like, man, you see how he know I needed 105. You know what I'm saying? And that he could have helped that guy, but this is whatever he was trying to get, success as a rapper or whatever, you know, whatever he was trying to get, it wasn't coming fast enough for him. You know what I'm saying? It's instant on. I want it now. So now, you know, he starts getting the jealousy and all that building up. And then this happens.
Are we buying into the this guy's known to be kind of mentally unstable, suffering from
I don't believe that.
mental health issues?
I think he was trying to get off the street, man. He was trying to get off the street because it was getting too hot for him.
Honestly, that's how I feel. I felt like his plan was to turn himself in, but he knew he couldn't go directly to the precinct because people were looking for him. So where he felt safe at was turning himself into the hospital. That's what I think.
It's words floating around there that his baby mama house thing got shot up.
Right.
Brother car got shot up. And I mean, that don't help the situation either.
No, it doesn't.
Because if that is true, like, I mean, what does she have to do with any of this? You know what I'm saying?
Right. He did what he did.
Yeah, she had nothing to do.
So did she drive the car to get away though? Or is that was an early report and I stopped looking at that because that
I don't know who she was, but I know that she turned herself in and they let her go. LAPD did.
Yeah, so they
they let her go because she said, well, the reports are saying her statement was she didn't know what he was going to do. So,
could have been true because nobody knew about whatever argument, whatever slight he felt.
No, this came completely out of left field. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a conversation with anybody. This was I believe it was premeditated just on his end. I think he had been looking for this day. That particular day, he just had enough of a reason. But I don't think he sat down with anybody and held counsel like, yo, I'm gonna do, buddy, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow or whatever like that.
So let me ask you, I got a question. So if she had nothing to do with it, didn't he get in the car with her and leave?
Yeah, he got in the car.
So at that point, did you not see what he did? Then you just sitting there and you didn't hear all these shots. And he got
for her life at that point.
Yeah, you in the car, I'm riding with you, right? We up at it. We doing something that we do 100 times. But this particular day, you just see me. I just murdered somebody, and they come and jump back in the car with you. And what are you realistically gonna do at that point? You know what I'm saying?
I guess play it cool, like get away.
Right. Which which might be where her head was at. Like, oh shit, I just seen this dude murder somebody. I'm not gonna tell him, no, get the fuck out of my car. You know what I'm saying? He just shot somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just shot multiple.
Either that, or if she was far away from him, just hit the gas and go. Don't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either one, but
especially if she was blindsided by it. You know, if he, she really didn't know anything. There's possible that her whole thing was, I just need to get him where I need to get him, and then he can get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah.
You know.
And this thing could get so big. Like, what are we supposed to tell the others? What are we supposed to tell the Chance the Rappers who's doing all this work in Chicago? What are we supposed to tell Meek Mills working on the jail reform? What are we supposed to tell these other people who are helping out who are in our communities, helping them out? What are we supposed to say?
I'm not gonna lie, you have to tell them to keep going. And the reason I say that is, y'all both know I'm a huge fan of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm a huge fan of that man. And not just him, but the entire movement of our people back then. Those folks were walking into the situations they knew they were not going to walk away from. And they still did it. If you want change, sacrifice brings change. No matter what, you look at anything across history, change comes out of a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and a lot of people laying down their lives for whatever it is, the cause that they fighting for. That's no matter whom or what.
Won't that when they see that, but that's going to discourage others, and that's the problem. Like they're gonna say, man, I'm gonna try to help from afar, and I'm gonna stay away from that because I don't want that to happen to me. I'm gonna slide somebody else some money to do it, but I don't want to be involved. And that go to deep point. The boots on the ground thing is gonna disappear. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people making money like that now are not as respected as he was. That happened to him, and he was respected. So what happened to somebody who ain't that respected? They'll try. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will try him. So.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I didn't want to talk about this Nipsey Hussle situation, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, and it really kind of ties into a lot of what both of y'all are saying. There's a lot around this Nipsey Hussle situation that just fucking disgusts me, man. And it has nothing to do with Nipsey. It has nothing at all to do with him, but it has to do with our reaction to what happened to him. Nipsey's music shot up like 3,000% the day that he passed. That's great because Nipsey had a lot of control over his music. Where the fuck was y'all when he was here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Where the fuck was that same support when he was here? I'm not gonna lie. Me and Deep talked all last year. Nipsey's album was one of the albums that kept getting rolled around in our album of the year conversation, right?
Yeah.
I honestly, and call me ignorant or whatever, I didn't realize Nipsey was as beloved as he was until he fucking passed. I knew that he was respected. I knew he had fans. I knew he was a great artist and he made great music. He made shit that I liked. But I didn't know that he was so respected or so loved across the board by everybody until he died.
Because you want to know why? It had nothing to do with his music. Had nothing to do with his music. Had nothing to do with it.
Just
all
him
these
first.
people who loved Nipsey loved him way before this victory lap came out.
Right.
Because it was a long.
He was.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a long journey, and the way you look like he went from his mixtapes to, I mean, when he did the 1,000 mixtapes, $100 a piece, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People just buying that up. That's how he ended up meeting his daughter's mom. You know what I'm saying? All of that, and then he had a piece on the news about all the stuff he was doing, and that's when I really, that happened like a couple of months ago, whatever. I looked at that piece, and I think I even shared it on Facebook. Then I dived into outside of the music because I only knew from the music point. Right, and then once I went into that, I was like, oh man, this dude he's been doing it. Right. And I started, looking up videos and all that. And I was like, oh, this guy's he's gonna really,
But that's what I'm saying. Taking the music out of it, just like what you said, D. Mm-hmm. Take the music out of it. Did y'all realize his support was as widespread when he was here?
I did not, and it's because we don't, or media doesn't publicize that. Right. You know?
That's why I was surprised he had that story.
Topping hit on the radio. So we didn't get to everyone in California knew. Mm-hmm. People in New York knew. People where he touched down a lot, they all knew. Right. You know? Everybody should have known the stuff this guy was doing. But you know what would have been the problem with everybody knowing? It would have been others who did it other places. People who did it in the Chicagos or the Oaklands or the Houstons. People would have done it everywhere, you know? Right. And at that point, real change comes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why publicize this if it's going to bring real positive change, you know?
And that what you just said brings me to my other problem with this whole Nipsey Hussle situation. Do either one of y'all know who Taquan Eversley is?
I don't.
No.
Taquan Eversley was a man in Brooklyn, 21 years old. And he got chased down by 10 other guys in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Hit with a brick.
I remember that.
Shot while he was trying to jump over a fucking barbed wire fence. Right? I understand the outpouring for Nipsey Hussle. This has nothing at all to do with Nipsey Hussle. I'm trying to make sure I'm clear on that. All right? But where is that same energy, man, for all the people without the name, without the notoriety, without the fame, who are still members of our community, who are killed so young? We really, really only care about Black lives when it's Black celebrities, Black entertainers.
Yeah, or when they're killed by the cops.
Yeah, or when they're killed by the police.
When
we give a fuck this.
It's two things. We normalize is the lack of value of human life, like I was saying earlier. And the other thing is when it gets pumped down your throat by the media all the time, you know what I'm saying? People are made to care. You know, if there's the story you talked about, I had to look that up and see what that was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't know the guy's name. Yeah. I barely heard anything about it. But this has been in rotation with Nipsey and celebrities because they got the exposure. It's out there all the time, and people form opinions. Like, it gets pushed down their throat for a week or two, and then they form an opinion, and everybody has something to say about it, but nobody cares about that. And then they're used to it. We don't value life. We're used to seeing that, which is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what's out there.
Yeah, it's not right, but it's, to quote the Joker,
if tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blowing up, nobody panics, because it's all part of the plan.
Here's another story that I found while I was actually looking up the Taekwon story. So in Chicago this past week, there was a baby shower that got shot up. 6 people dead, 4 adults, 2 children.
That's
now. Going back to what you were saying, I can understand what you mean by it's supposed to happen when it's that. But who the fuck shoots up a baby shower?
But same thing. Look at
I don't know.
look at all the other stuff in Chicago. So people have gotten to the point where it's like, oh, that's just Chicago. If that had happened in, I don't know, Chapel Hill, North Carolina or something, it would be pushed down our throats and then it would turn into a gun debate and all this other stuff and a big, drawn out discussion. But because it's in Chicago, it's supposed to happen. Just like he said, it's expected. How many times you heard that same story? So many 40 people shot over the weekend in Chicago, people shooting in parks and all that, just because of the location. You know what I'm saying? If it was, a different community, then it would be like, oh my God, this is horrible, blah blah blah. It would be everywhere because it's the story. You know what I'm saying?
So we only have value when we add value, basically.
That's it.
Pretty much.
That's it.
There's a tier system, man. Some things, lives in certain places matter more than lives in other places. It's horrible, but that's what people.
We're not helping the narrative. Have y'all seen the videos on what happened during spring break week in Miami?
Oh yeah. You talking about all the dudes down there beating the shit out of women and all that kind of shit?
Yeah, just all the brawls, all the fights everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we not helping the narrative. We not helping it.
Right. And then we put those
everywhere acting like animals. What are they gonna look? What are they gonna see? When they look me in the face, or you in the face, or Gaines in the face. What are they gonna see? They're not gonna see a person.
Right.
Do we weep when a dog gets murdered? Do you weep when you drive in the street and you see a possum that got ran over by a car? You don't cry. You don't sit to think about that possum's soul. You never do that.
That's true.
That's the same way they looking at us.
Yep. Because when
everybody seeing that deer hit by the car on the side of the road,
you keep rolling.
Saying no prayer for that deer.
Right. Yeah. You keep rolling. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Got a soul too, though.
That's the thing. All animals are created equal. Some are more equal than others.
I ain't gonna lie. Since I started driving trucks, I don't break for no fucking animals. I'm just keeping it a buck.
I hate anything. You keep it moving.
I don't break for shit.
Stay out of the way.
You run out in front of my shit, you fucked up. I'm not breaking. I'm not swerving. I'm not doing none of that shit. That's why I had to agree with what he was saying, because I'm like, I hit one on the way to Montana one time, knocked his ass straight over. Man, I kept it moving.
Yeah, see?
It didn't cross my mind at all.
I'm just saying, we shouldn't have that mentality towards other human beings, though, but we do in this society, We do.
Look at Flint. Flint still ain't fixed. Water still ain't fixed.
But it's not in the news anymore, so we don't care about that.
So I saw something the other day. It was sad, but it made a point. It said that maybe we should think about saying that the dogs in Flint don't have clean water, because people seem to care about pets a lot now.
Right.
And they forgetting about the people. Maybe you should say that the animals don't have clean water too, because the people don't, and y'all apparently don't seem to care.
Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's America. This is America. That's expected out of them.
Is out here with fucking $3 million filtration systems on their personal house,
Right. But you got a whole city.
I bought one here. It wasn't no thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? None of that.
Yeah. But still,
we got one right in here.
Hold on. I don't want to swing too far to the left. I want to come back around to Nipsey Hussle for a second.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all. We three, the assholes, are we mad at Kodak Black?
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt at first, but I didn't know the story. All I know was a video came out and he was talking, and the first thing we thought about was like, hey, maybe somebody leaked the video, maybe somebody snaked and he was saying something and he put it out, you know, something like that. I was trying to think, how could he be that stupid?
He was on his homeboy's live.
Right, but at that point you're supposed to know that.
Yeah, you know,
if you're on live,
secretly put him on live.
Right, to be on live, you got to be like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so know at that point you know, and then after that first barrage of it, then he went ahead and said that he doubled down on it. You know what I'm saying? When he came back,
he did.
And he was saying, you know, I ain't did nothing wrong. Then he came out with the half-ass apology. And he was saying like, well, yeah, I ain't, you know.
Yeah, the apology was some bullshit.
I'm sorry, even though I ain't do nothing wrong. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's like I'm saying this just to make sure I can sell some records.
Yeah.
But now it's getting to the point where he has a strong possibility of not selling records. And now he's gonna say, okay, hold up, I gotta come back around, apologize, and blah blah blah, even though you really don't feel that way.
The people in California, he done been banned from a bunch of radio stations out there. Won't play his music, all of that. Well, my thing is, man, like, why are we even giving this the time of day? I feel like us giving this the time of day is making it way bigger than it should, man.
You know what? I agree with you on that, but I'll tell you why it's important. Because, and it's not even for Kodak Black. It's for all the rest of these motherfuckers, like the people who are banning his music, they taking him off the playlist and all this other shit. Bro, this is not the first time Kodak has opened his mouth and said something crazy disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Kodak is the same one who came out and said, yeah, I don't fuck with dark-skinned women. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck. You know, dark-skinned women or whatever to me or this, that, and the third.
He was on that Young M.A. shit last week.
Yep.
Right. Then last week, you coming at an openly gay female with talking about penetrating her pussy. Like, dog.
Man,
this ain't the first time he done it. And on top of that shit, y'all know I'm right here in SC in South Carolina. Kodak got a rape case coming up here in South Carolina of a fucking high school student. Damn. So where was all this motherfucking this fake outrage shit that just seems to be the thing to do now? Is like, oh, well, let's get mad and we gonna quote unquote cancel somebody or some shit. He acts ignorant all the fucking time. So why is it that now, you know, we all got this sore spot for what happened with Nipsey? We all feel bad for Lauren London. But why are we jumping all over? See, to me, Kodak represents the problem that we have. We didn't teach him. We didn't reach out to him. We didn't try to raise that man into something. You know what I'm saying? So he's just going off of what the fuck he knows. He's going off of what has got him to this point.
But my problem is he's journeying into clown territory.
He's been in clown territory.
Bro, his hair looked like that dude from The Simpsons. What's that dude? Sideshow Bob or whatever?
Kodak has been in clown territory, man. He's been in clown territory. That shit ain't new. That shit is not new. So why? But that's my point is, why is the outrage new? Why is it now? I mean, you got big names coming out against him. You got, like you said, radio stations coming out. Hey, we're gonna pull all Kodak Black's music, bro.
It's the hot topic right now. Everybody's. It's the hot topic.
But that's my point though. When he got arrested for possibly raping a fucking high school student, why we wasn't pulling songs then? And don't get me wrong, I'm with the whole guilty until proven. I mean, innocent until proven guilty shit. But where the fuck was the outrage for it?
That's my problem there with these celebrity rape things. Like I just choose not to take a side until it's decided, because you gotta
do that with everything.
I mean, you gotta do that
nowadays, man.
No, that's true. But Kodak is the same one that, as he was really, really getting hot, he made the video saying, yeah, fuck all this music shit. I'd rather be somewhere hitting lick. I'd rather be somewhere doing something.
Wasn't he the one that said Tupac suck and all that too?
Yeah, he just did that.
Maybe he's a troll, man. Maybe he's just trolling, but he don't understand what the line is.
He's journeying in the clown. Like Like, I'm not gonna be able to take nothing about him serious after a while if this continues.
Kanye West territory.
Look, since we talking about the Nipsey situation and all that, I think we should take a page out of Nipsey's book when even dealing with this Kodak Black situation.
Like, the public should not even react to clown shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? We shouldn't even. The public should follow the real niggas, and the real niggas ain't reacting, so y'all don't react.
Exactly.
Put this shit on. Put the dude on goofy time and just let him sit over here and do what he doing until that shit expire, because it always gonna self-destruct, clearly.
I mean, look at all of us now outraged, all these people saying all this and this or whatever.
Right.
They didn't know how bad he was. He was a clown, but he wasn't like, he wasn't a 10th level clown like he is now.
This shit is just getting out of hand.
Yep.
There's a lot of shit that's out of hand.
World nowadays, man, we got all of this shit. Look at this shit. When the shit first happened with Nipsey, there was a guy who put up a video on Instagram in his car trying to take.
Oh yeah, saying he killed. Yeah, I just killed Nipsey.
Come on, man. Like,
trying to 50 minutes of fame, man.
That's where we at. Motherfucker want fame that bad,
Yeah,
for the likes. For the
likes and the followers, man. Everything is likes and followers. Everything is likes, follows, and clicks, bro.
And really, like, what is fame? Like, what is it really? What is it really?
Dog, let me tell you something. Fame is an illusion, man. Fame is not. It's not a real thing because it's not tangible. It's not something that you can fucking buy, sell, or trade. Fame is a fucking illusion, man. It's something that does not exist. It's just people knowing your fucking. Like, it's just like if you go to high school in 9th grade and you look at, the fucking star quarterback who's a senior. He's famous in your school. You know what I'm saying? He's famous in your town or whatever like that. That shit, fame don't transfer into nothing. It transfers
into shit. That's my whole problem with it. You got people who are willing to kill, die, and do all of this shit over fucking fame. When at the end of the day, it don't mean shit.
It means
Look at the dude a couple weeks ago. Old Wide Neck was all over the fucking internet. His ass is famous. We all know who the fuck Wide Neck is.
Oh yeah.
But what you think Wide Neck got his fucking name right now?
Right.
Like, this shit ridiculous, man. Sometimes this shit make me sick for real. This shit makes me sick.
I'm not gonna lie.
The world is just so superficial, man. And like at the end of the day, none of that shit's gonna matter. When you leave this earth, it's about your legacy and everything you left behind. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some of these people gonna have all this material shit or all this facade shit, and there's gonna be nothing solid there. Nobody's gonna remember their fucking names because nothing was left.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But honestly though, I've watched and it's crazy, but I've watched just how the brains, the minds of people has kind of been rewired over time with this social media shit. And I say this shit without flinching, without blinking. Bro, a lot of these motherfuckers believe their legacy is on fucking Instagram.
Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dead ass. There are people who just believe that is their legacy, is what the fuck is on Instagram, what the fuck is on Twitter, what the fuck is on Facebook, Snapchat, all this other shit, blog sites.
Look at what it's all. I don't know. Look at what happened when he did pass away. Everybody's tweeting stuff of the videos and stuff for likes. I mean, everybody's riding around. They're playing this music, and people that didn't listen to it at all when he was here.
That's why that shit makes me sick, man. Because it's like
it's just some likes.
Look at what happened when XXX died, man. This man is in a car, broad daylight, dying, and instead of people calling the ambulance or trying to see if they can
pull out the phone,
we
standing there recording. You know what I'm saying?
We filming shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just talking about this spring break shit. It's a dude knocked this girl the fuck out. I mean,
all the way. Yeah.
Middle of this big ass crowd. Didn't nobody think to help this girl up?
Everybody put out their phone.
Nah, we gotta film.
Everybody.
I gotta record it because I gotta post it on my page. I gotta get my likes up. Gotta get my followers up. Gotta get my retweets. I gotta
my
get
game
this.
up.
Yeah, all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I hope everybody realizes we recording a selfie of our own demise right now.
Oh, definitely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. I agree with you.
Hope that shit gets posted.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. I agree with you. We will say from the AWO Podcast.
We gotta change. So that shit really starting to piss me off. Like I'm really
I mean, I feel you. I definitely am with you. I'm definitely with you. I will say, from the AWO Podcast, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Condolences to his family.
Definitely.
To his family, definitely.
Prayers up to his family.
Definitely. Which also brings us to our asshole of the week, Mr. Eric Holder. I'm not saying allegedly or none of that shit. We've all seen the security footage. We've all seen the accounts from the witnesses. You are someone who couldn't see past the present, and you murdered our future, man. So you get the Asshole of the Week award. I wish I could give you the Asshole of the Lifetime award, but I will tell you this. You're going to be a bitch in life, you're going to be a bitch in your soul, and you're going to be a bitch in hell. Asshole of the Week.
Yeah.
On to the next. Deacon.
Yo.
I heard you want to talk about transgender athletes.
So there's a lot of uproar in the media right now about all these different states and all these transgender athletes who are competing in the female sports, mainly track and field, and they're breaking all of these records. They're winning these gold medals. Mm-hmm. And my question is this right? Don't they have an unfair advantage?
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about female sports.
I mean, it's when people. I think people are so caught up in being like not offensive to people, but some things you gotta realize. Like, I mean, like let's look at the Olympics, right? So when you told me this, I looked at the Olympics, and also this rapper, his name was Zuby, right? He's in the UK. He posted shout out to Zoo. He posted a video. Hey, and look what he did. It's an interesting video. We should check out some of the stuff he says in this video.
It demonstrated the entire notion. It dispelled the entire notion that there is no inherent biological strength advantage that men have over women. I mean, that's something that we've known for thousands of years. It's the reason why men's and women's sports are segregated and always have been to maintain fairness.
What he did was he came out. He said, "I identify as a woman," and he broke the powerlifting record. And he said, "Because I identify as a woman." He said, "This is how stupid this sounds." So that's this guy, and he decides that he references a lot of Olympic rules in his videos. So the Olympic rules state that if you are a transgender male, but you identify as a female, you just have to take testosterone pills for 12 months and have levels that they could test. Now, that has nothing to do with what you train, your bone structure, nothing, none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's all your stuff you did your whole life. But if you take these drugs for 12 months and you can say my testosterone level is underneath the expected level, now I can compete against women. And you're like, so if you were a sprinter and you work on sprinting your whole life and you got one of the fast time, or even so if you're not even that good, you know what I'm saying, but you're faster than most of the women, you could just take this and that'll be your way in, which is, I understand not trying to offend anybody, but you got to look at the rules. Like, that's not fair. Like, and what about the UFC fighter? Well, not UFC, but MMA fighter.
MMA fighter,
that identified as a woman, and he was just destroying women. And he wasn't even that good technique-wise. He ended up losing because you didn't have that you wasn't that good of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you were hurting people. And this guy, who I found interesting, he had kids and was 30 years old before he was like, well, I always identified as a woman, so now I'm going to, this is what I was doing. I always identified. But how do you identify as a woman when you're making babies with a woman?
Exactly.
And so that sounds to me like it's a little sketchy. And then you come out and you didn't reveal that beforehand, and you start destroying people. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. I mean, that's a sore spot. you got these girls who have trained all their lives, you know what I'm saying? And they just train and train and train. And then you come around and you get beat like horribly like that.
Okay. But let me ask y'all this. Okay, so what the fuck are they getting out of this?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the part that's confusing to me. Okay, so you identify as a woman so that you can go in and break female records. Like, okay, but then what the fuck does that leave you? I'm just saying. Like, what do they get out of this?
And it's
still it could lead to Olympic medal and endorsements and
then the thing is, we're talking about like amateur sports. We're talking about like high school.
Right.
Happening, you know? It's like
high school's a popularity
boys
contest.
who are doing this, who are saying they identify as women and competing in women's sports, they're not taking estrogen, you know?
Right.
They're not doing anything to change their chemical balance. They're teenagers.
Right.
They're not doing any of that stuff yet. So they're still men.
Right.
And they're out there racing against women. And like Gaines said a second ago, what's going to open everybody's eyes is one of these MMA fighters who goes in that cage against a woman and mess around and seriously hurts her.
Right.
Seriously hurts her. Because at that point, it's not going to be two women fighting. It's going to be a man beat up on this woman.
Let me play devil's advocate for a minute, D. Let me ask you this. Maybe these people just figured out a way to come up.
That still doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
no, I'm not
saying
that. I'm not saying that it makes it right, but I'm saying don't we a lot of times teach, hey, you win by any means necessary.
Look at the boy in Alaska, right? The one in Alaska who identified as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He ran, I think it was the 2-mile race. He won the state championship hands down, cleanly, right? But his time wouldn't have placed.
But that's what I'm saying. So the rules don't take that into consideration. So like even though, okay, he's a male who's identifying as a woman, he goes out and he runs the women's race and he kills that. But physiologically, you're still a man and your time wouldn't have placed with other men. The rules don't take that into consideration? I'm asking.
Nope.
They gave him the state championship, and this girl who had won the state championship 2 times before had to walk away with this silver, man.
In that situation, can you sue like a governing body, a ruling body or something?
No, because it's in everybody's so hypersensitive and you don't want to offend anybody. But so the minute somebody says that, then they're like, well, okay, let's leave that alone. We don't want to be offended. But I mean, I understand if you identify as that, that's fine. That's what you want to do. But when you get to the point where you're circumventing, I read an interesting thing that Joe Rogan said, and it was in the effort to make everybody inclusive and give everybody their voice and franchise them, you're indirectly disenfranchising women, and you're messing, what I'm saying, you're trying to give everybody rights, but then you're shrinking their rights, because how long it was before they couldn't even compete and stuff, you know what I mean? And now that you haven't been competing that long, in relative terms, what I'm saying, as opposed to men were, but in that amount of time, now you're saying, hey, by the way, you got to compete against men, bigger, stronger, faster, or somebody who has the physiology of a man. Now, I don't want to say men, but you have the physiology of a man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to say that, you go through a long period of whatever the process is, and then maybe your physiology changes, that's one thing. But a lot of these people are coming out and they're just, I mean, like, you think of the MMA, they just come out there and you're basically beating on a woman in the cage because nobody wants to say anything about it.
I think if you identify yourself if you're a man who identifies yourself as a woman, I think you should lose your dick. I think that should be like law. I'm dead ass serious though.
Hey,
I'm dead ass serious. I think that should be law. And I think that if you're a woman who wants to identify as a man, like, you should have to, you can't do the strap on no more. You should have to have surgery to create a dick.
the fame, right? High school is the popularity contest. I'm the state champion power lifter. You know what I'm saying? I'm popular now. You know, you can't.
Like, what does that do to the female? Like, Malik, imagine mama. Imagine she grows up. She's a track star. She's out here she's beating all the girls in the sprints, right?
Yeah.
And she goes to the state championship. Loses by 30 yards to a man. She's worked her tail off to get to that state championship, right? She's beaten everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
She loses in that state championship by 30 yards, not to another female, to a man.
No. You know what? And honestly, transgender.
Hold on, you gotta let me get one more part out real quick.
Go ahead.
She loses and she's heartbroken about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the loss has really hurt her, you know?
Right. Yeah.
She really, really wanted to win, and that loss has really hurt her.
I'm gonna walk to her right there on the track. I'm gonna walk to her. I'm gonna look her in her face, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, you hold your head up high. You walk over there. Tell that man, you's a bitch." But I meant what I said though.
He's trying to get us banned, man.
Cut.
All right, man. It is that time. Gaines Corner.
Animation.
I'm not gonna lie. I love when he do that shit. Gaines, what you got for us this week, man?
All right, man. So this is a story of a couple of months back of a Arizona father who beat a man to death in the Quick Trip parking lot, allegedly. So, so Melvin Harris III faces a second-degree murder charge in the beating death of Leon Le'Veon Armstrong. Right. So apparently this guy Mr. Melvin here, pulls up at the Quick Trip waiting on his daughters. So this guy, Leon, comes to his car, asks for some change. He gives him some change. He goes in the store. So he's sitting there, waiting for his daughters or whatever, friend. So they come out and they're like, man, this guy tried to get in our stall. Like, he was railing the stall, trying to get in, So then he's like, okay. So he tells the security guard or whatever at Quick Trip. What they did was he goes in, he tells Quick Trip, they say, oh, we'll straighten it out. We'll get a security guard, we'll take a look at it, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, Leon comes out the store and they're like, hey, that's the guy right there. So, Mr. Melvin steps to him and there's some discretion over who threw the first punch. But the story went with Melvin beating the shit out of this dude. And then witnesses said he stomped and kicked him while he was on the ground, which eventually led to him dying at the hospital. And Melvin got in his car and dipped, He said he didn't throw the first punch, but he did hit the guy in the face. And Melvin, is still in jail because of this. Everybody else said he stomped him to death. But the bad part is he has a criminal history of shoplifting, trespassing, and obstructing justice. So he's probably not getting out. But, that ties in. This guy went in the stall and he said, he was trying to get in there. And he decided that I'm just going to take this into my own hands. He beat the dude to death. And the daughter's distraught because she's like, man, I'm the cause of my dad being locked up, in this whole thing. And the mom's like, look, he's defending you. Don't feed into it. Don't make it look like it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. But it's still like he's locked up because of this. And that's what happened. So with those charges, I think he's probably going to be locked up just because he's going to use his old history in it. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm not going to lie. I don't have any problem with anybody pursuing whatever path they choose to in life. If whatever you want to do, whatever makes you comfortable, whatever floats your boat, whatever you like, do that. But there's such thing as fucking courtesy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have, okay, if you want to be the guy who, I identify as a woman, so I want to use the women's bathroom, cool. Why don't you wait until the motherfucker's empty, man? And if it's not empty, then go ahead and take your ass in the fucking men's room, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm standing outside the bathroom, like, you know, you go to the gas station or something, you see your daughter in the bathroom or whatever, you standing at the door, no fucking man is walking in there while I'm standing there. Not fucking happening. I'm sorry.
I got a real life story involving that situation.
Oh, tell me about this shit. Please.
Yeah, I did this too.
I was at Stone Mountain Park, right? This is when they had the little snow area out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the baby out there to Stone Mountain Park. She had to go to the bathroom. Her little feet was bouncing up and down. She's like, Daddy, I gotta go. So I took her to the female bathroom. I let her go in, and I'm standing outside, right? This motherfucker walks up, every bit of 6'2", every bit of 220. The motherfucker was so muscular. The straps on the spaghetti strap shirt were in his goddamn traps, man. I said, come on, man.
Right. What are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing?
He proceeds to walk in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, wait a minute now. I mean, he had the wig on, and like I said, he had a spaghetti strap shirt. But this motherfucker traps look like Goldberg, man.
Right. He had the wig and shit on, but he just left the fucking power plant.
He walks in the bathroom, and at that point, I had to make a serious decision, man. I'm like, the baby is in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's in there with this motherfucking Herculean ass, whatever the fuck he was.
Right.
I get my ass up, and I walk in the bathroom. I said, well, fuck it. If we in here, then we just in here.
Yeah, right.
This is how it's fucking going.
Yeah.
So, I'm standing outside the stall that she's in, and I'm just standing in the women's bathroom. These two women come walking in, and they jump when they see me. I look over at him. He's standing at the damn mirror. I look back at the two ladies, and I said, I identify as a woman. Stood right there, man. I didn't fucking leave. The baby came out the stall skipping. We go wash her hands, and we walk out the bathroom, man.
And dude never said nothing?
No, dude never said nothing. I never said nothing to him.
But see, here's the crazy thing about that, right? You're put into that situation, and you handle it the way you handle it, right? But if somebody would have decided to call the police while you was in there, you would have went the fuck to jail.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? That's the fucked up part about all that.
Yeah.
If somebody decided to call the police, you would have went the fuck to jail. Or if one of them chicks that walked in the bathroom was fucking on some shiesty shit and walked outside, hey, dude tried to touch me while I was in. You know what I mean? That shit could have went wrong.
Yeah, it could have been any one of those things.
Places.
It could have been any one of those things.
So many different ways that could have went wrong, and you trying to protect your fucking child.
Because to me, at that point, it turned into me sending her into the men's bathroom alone.
Right.
Like, that's what it turned into.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck if the men's bathroom was full of goddamn, I was going to say preachers and priests, but I guess. That's the fucking wrong example to use.
That's probably not.
Oh, that mean you would have ran that faster.
That's bad. You can't trust a motherfucker nowadays.
Can't trust a goddamn soul, man.
People don't. That goes back to what I said before. People do not value lives, man. They don't value lives. Like, it's all about what I need to get and what I want to do, and whatever. If that involves anything, you know, if that messes up anything you got going on or makes you uncomfortable, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If that could destroy a community like Nipsey. That could do anything. It doesn't matter. The perfect metaphor for this, what I look at, is Atlanta traffic. Atlanta traffic is what society has become, right?
What you mean? What you mean by that?
So if you're in traffic, you'll see one asshole come out here and he'll block the lane and mess it up for everybody else. And when he messes up for everybody else, does he get anywhere in life faster than you? You get about 10 feet ahead of me, and then you sit in the same shit. But you will mess it up for everybody behind you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to get this one piece. But you're going nowhere. You making it worse for everybody, including yourself. But if you think you can get 1 little inch, I'm gonna just screw it up for everybody. And that's how society is now. They don't care about value of life. You don't care about nothing. All you want is your 10 feet, and you're gonna be in the same spot as everybody else. And that's
shout out to the analogy.
I know that shit was dope, right?
When you in traffic in Atlanta, you're gonna be like, society sucks. These folks ain't. That's it, man. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Hey, that was good though. I'm not gonna lie, that was good. Let's get some tags, man. Deacon, where you at?
Damn Deacon 44 on IG. Still not fucking with Twitter.
Gangs, what about you, man?
Yeah, just G Gangs everywhere, man. On Instagram, G Gangs. I'm here. I ain't out there like that. I'm here though.
You sound I'm here. All right, you can catch me on Instagram at Soundchasm, on Twitter at ChasmSound. If you got any inquiries, any topics you want us to talk about, you can hit us up, AWO Podcast at gmail.com. And you can catch us on Instagram at AWO Podcast. Catch us on Twitter at AWO Podcast 1. Another one down, fellas. Another one down. We got anything else?
Shout out to Lil Nas X. Booted off the country chart.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's our show for today. Remember, opinions are like assholes. We just some assholes with opinions. Appreciate y'all.